Good afternoon, and glad to be back for live racing here at Del Mar on a really nice Sunday afternoon here in Southern California. I am Kurt Hoover along with Tom Quigley. We had yesterday off here in Southern California. We're back in action today. And as far as the weather, Tom, I've been down here the whole weekend. It rained some yesterday. It's very early this morning. It rained about 10 o'clock. It rained a little bit. Nothing really significant. Track is drying out. Looks fine. We're good for a good 9-race car today.
Main track listed as good, Kurt, to start the day. I'm sure it'll be upgraded to fast at some point. But I was born and raised in Chicago. They call this a nice November day. You're spoiled, but nevertheless, good racing today. Minimal scratches, which is also a good news as well.
And it's overcast and cool, but it's not cold. It's not real windy. It's actually kind of a pleasant day for a nice car. We got the Desi Arnaz as our feature race. Let's dive right in, Tom. We start in the opener with California-bred maiden claimers for a $50,000 tag.
Tough race here, Kurt. There is one scratch. Scratch the sixth. Irish Element leaves us with a field of 6, couple of first-time starters. I'm going to go with one of the runners that has the most experience, and specifically that would be number 2, Charms Away, the 8-5 morning line favorite. I don't love the price, but I do like the fact that I think he runs well fresh. You can see that 2 times in his past performances. His debut was his best race, where he just missed by a half length, earning a Buyer speed figure of 70. And then he came back off the layoff in May of 2025 and finished a real good third after breaking from the rail. I think he's going to fire fresh. Trey Luis Mendez does very well off the layoff. Also, this horse is protected coming off that layoff since we haven't seen him since March. He's not in for the $50,000 tag. I like that. I don't like the price, but I do like him on top. I'll give you a little bit of a price if you don't want to play the chalk here, Kurt, and that would be number 5, Quality Gold. I went back and watched the replay. That last effort was at 5.5 furlongs. On the gallop out, he actually passed the field, entering the clubhouse turn. He took blinkers off in his second career start last time out. Tyler Bays decides him to ride him back. Hats off to Tyler Bays, who's winning races, as well as his new agent, Riley Shapiro. They're doing a good job together. They're very aggressive. They're very hungry. I'll make the lid lifter, Kurt, 2-5 in that order.
Yeah, I'm not real crazy either, Tom. I thought Charms Away was the horse to beat. Has races would put him in the winner's circle. I think this is a real soft field. I thought the 4-go trigger cut could improve. Showed some speed for Bill McLean first time out. Not a bad try. 2-4 for me in race number 1. On to the second 7-go here. How'd you see this one?
A lot of question marks in this race as well, Kurt, but I'm going to take a little bit of a look at a price at 5-1 on the morning line. Number 6, Marco's Performance. It's not with any strong conviction, but there are some things to like about this son of Citron. First of all, he's 1 for 1 over the Del Mar main track, which is where we're running today, of course. Also, you look at his company lines the last 2 times out. Opus Uno, AP again, Jalisco. All of these runners that he's faced in the past would basically be odds on in this field. So I'll put him on top, again, because of the company he's been keeping. I do respect the likely post-time favorite, number 7, Stanford Dropout. However, he does have some weird front action. If you were to watch his replay, he also was a void claim last time out. That's the bad news. The good news is it's hard to get off the void claim list, but Brian Corner almost immediately was able to get this horse back on the work tab. 4 workouts since that void claim at Los Alamitos in late September. I'll make it the outside 2 runners in race 2, Kurt, 6-7 in that order.
Yeah, I don't have a real strong opinion here, Tom. I did pick Maya Maroney back from taking a long van ride up to Wyoming, where he took down to Sweetwater Future. What I find interesting in this sport, it's so every state's different. This horse couldn't race on Lasix here, adds Lasix in Wyoming, now comes back off Lasix. Rules just make no sense all around the country, right? 0 sense. But I like Maya Maroney back with Mendez, and I think should make the lead here. And I'm with you on Marco's Performance. Drop in class, good outside post, 2-6 for me in race number 2. On to the third, going a mile, California bred, scratch to 3, Passion Doro.
2 sons of Clubhouse Ride are who I'm going to pick on top here, Kurt, and they're drawn right next to each other. 5 and 6 in that particular order. Again, not a lot of imagination here. But number 5, John Metcalf. It's interesting to look at the past performances for him. He was laid up from July until October. And when he came back in October, they stretched him out around 2 turns on the turf course. Not only did he improve significantly, look at the betting action he took. It was a field of 11, and they bet him down to 5-1. And that runner who won the race, you'll remember, Kurt, a son of Not This Time, a rare Calbred, who's sired by the Red Hot sire Not This Time, Unrivaled Time, trained by Leonard Powell, was very dominating in victory. No disgrace finishing second to that horse. The question is, can he convert that turf form over to the main track? I think he can, and I think he's going to get bet again today, particularly with Juan Hernandez in the saddle. Also number 6, Book Clubhouse, another runner going, another son, I should say, of Clubhouse Ride going turf to dirt. Trainer Sean McCarthy very quietly does a very good job. Grand Slam Smile, you'll remember last weekend won the feature going turf to dirt. I think Sean might be able to do the same thing here, with number 6, Book Club. clubhouse. I like 5 and 6 in that order in the third race, Kurt.
Yeah, another race I don't have a real strong opinion. I thought Scatalotta Ding Dong could improve. It's a typical Leonard Powell type runner, just an even effort first time out. She did take action too, or he did take action. Was bet down to 6-1. Second and third place finishers both came back to win. I just thought he might improve. It is asking a lot going 2 turns off 1 sprint. And I'm with you on John Metcalf. He ran well. He's got route experience, good barn, top rider. 7-5 in race number 3.
Rocky Calavito, ring a name at all? Ring a bell at all?
Rocky
Played
Calavito.
for the Dodgers for a brief period of time.
One of the all-time Cleveland Indian greats.
You've got a great baseball mind. You really do. That's why I wanted to bring up that question. But Nick Alexander does such a great job naming all of his runners with people who have historical significance.
Exactly. And if you look up Rocky Colavito on Baseball Reference, it's one of the all-time great websites. He's got some really good numbers. And a Cleveland Indians great. On to race number 4, we start the pick 6 here. I thought this was a good, challenging pick 6 today. There's going to be some short prices along the way. Tom, I don't trust all of them. How do we start it in the 4th?
I completely agree with you, Kurt. There are some sneaky horses. There's also some horses that I think are going to run well at a short price, and that includes race number 4, the first race of the pick 6, where I like number 3, Poker Night at V's. Poker Night at V's, I've talked about this on previous seminars during the Bing Crosby meet. Just draw a line through all of his turf races, and what you're left with is a horse who loves the main track, who loves to sprint. Last time out, he ran against older. Now he's in against his own age group. Edwin Maldonado, of course, probably going to try and get a little bit more early speed into him because, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of early speed in the race. It looks like the pace is going to be dominated by number 6, Last Call Zonlo, who I'll put second just simply because of that. I am a bit concerned Antonio Fresu doesn't decide to ride back, but the winner, Drop Him, who I'll talk about a little bit later, came back to run second in the stakes race last week to Man O' War. So certainly Drop Him, I think, there's no Drop Hims in this particular field, let's put it that way. So a bit of a chalky start for me in the pick 6. I'll make it 3-6 in that order.
I thought Poker Night at V's was the horse to beat. Steve Natbarn, to me, very good on the drop, and this drop makes sense. What you claimed him for back on the dirt, so he's the horse to beat for me. I also thought Glass of Jameson would run well. I really liked the way this horse won back in the summer at Delmore. I know the number didn't come up big, but the barn's going good, and the horse is going to get a good trip, and the horse is sharp right now. So how about a 4-3 for me?
And that's where Antonio Fresu winds up, which I made, I wanted to take a second and a third look at Glass of Jameson, but like you had hinted, I'm just a little bit concerned he's a little bit too slow to match up with the field.
5th race, leg 2 of the pick 6. We got a scratch in here. Baffert scratched the 3, Mau also scratched the 8, Lady Aberdeen, and a rider change. Juan Hernandez ends up on the 4 brilliantly. How'd you see race number 5?
Well, you and I are both hoping that Bob Hess has a big day today. We'll get to that in the nightcap in race number 9. But I really do like, this is one of my price plays on today's card, Bob Hess's runner in race 5, and that would be number 2, Chai, who's taking the blinkers off. And that's the key to this wager. 20-1 on the morning line, Kurt, is way too big of a price because here's the statistic, courtesy of DRF Formulator, for the Bob Hess bar in the last 5 years with experienced runners taking blinkers off for the very first time. He's done it 20 times over the last 5 years. He's won with 6 of them. That's 30%. He's finished in the money with 12 of them. That's 60%. So this is a go-to move. This is just the second start in the Bob Hess barn. Last time I came down the Hillside Turf Course and certainly didn't disgrace herself. You remember the winner came back for Doug O'Neill and won last weekend here at Del Mar as well. So I think that was a good race, a drop down in class, an inside draw, going to be overlooked by the betting public. I'll put number 2, Chai, on top just simply because of that trainer statistic. Also, I just have a feeling, Kurt, you might like this horse as well. We do not compare notes before the seminar, but I do really like number 7, Stay in Line, for trainer Ron Ellis. It's got a lot of attributes that you always like to talk about, Kurt. They took this horse back for $25,000. Now they run for the tag because they've already
long-time owners.
Exactly. They've already won this condition, but the confident boost up in class. 2 for 2 over this main track surface. 4 for 5, first or second at the distance. Loves the main track. I love the confidence that Ron Ellis is showing. And Wilfin Orantes, he rides this jockey a lot. He's a new journeyman, former apprentice rider. In a bit of an upset, I'll make race 5, 2 and 7, Kurt.
Yeah, I thought this was an interesting race, Tom. The stand I took in the pick 6, I used 3 horses in the pick 6. My top pick is Brilliantly, coming back for Baffert and gets Hernandez. I like the way Magnificat won. I thought this horse showed a lot of heart in both of her races, and I'm with you on Stay in Line. Ron Ellis is so good when he gives horses time, so good off the claim, reclaim,
old school patient guy.
For sure, and I use those 3. The stand I took, and I think you took it too, is against Artisma. I just don't know if she's getting better. I mean, I know the numbers are good, Tom, but she's given up ground in the stretch. I just don't know if she's improving, so I did take a stand in a way for pick 6 purposes by leaving her off.
I've played Artisma in the past, particularly off that effort in the test at Saratoga, where I thought maybe she had a hint of ability since trainer Richie Baltas was willing to ship her all the way back east against those Tigresses, but she's never really lived up to expectations at this point. Also, 6 career starts, 4 second-place finishes.
6th race tips off the late pick 4, Calbred Maidens, 5.5 furlongs. Got a couple with experience, some first-time starters. I got a price horse, but you're the guest, so you go first.
It might be the same price
Okay.
horse. We'll see if we did our homework similarly. And my price horse in this race, Kurt, is number 10, Go-Go Tiz. Am I on the right horse or no?
I used that horse. It's my second pick, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this filly, actually, there's a lot of things to like about her. First of all, the dam missed by a nose in her debut, so there's some precocity in the family. She's also thrown one foal, trained by the trainer of Go-Go Tiz, Isidra Tamayo. She also won on her debut as well. So
16-1 at Fresno.
Exactly.
At the big Fresno
exactly
fair.
right. And Isidra Tamayo, if you look it up, statistically does well with debut maiden claimers. He gets the hot riding Mirko Demuro. What about Mirko?
Wow.
Off to a fantastic start. 7 for 19, at least up until Friday, with his mounts. 56% in the winner's circle. Just to digress for a moment, Kurt.
Yeah.
It took him a while to understand California racing, in my opinion. It's a much different type of game.
I agree.
We run fast early, we run fast late.
I hate to say it, in the summer, I steered away from him.
Me too.
I just really did. Now he's riding very well.
And confidently as well, which shows. And the barns are starting to give him a lot of live mounts. I like Go-Go Tiz on top. I also like number 5, Caught a Ride for trainer Craig Lewis. Just blinkers on, dropping class, and Antonio Freysu decides to ride back off that dismal effort in the debut, going turf to dirt. I'll make it 10-5, again, in a little bit of a grab bag in race number 6.
I see me. I got 5-10.
Yes, there we go.
The old 5-10 at Caliente. So I got the same too, Tom. I really like Caught a Ride. Watching the replay, watching it a couple of times, she didn't break. She was a little slow out of the gate. I thought she was real green early on. Then she picked it up. Freysu let her run down the lane, and I thought she galloped out really nice. What I really like is the work pattern afterwards. 3 straight gate works, meaning Craig Lewis wants this filly to break today. Blinkers go on. Craig doesn't do a lot of that with the blinker changes. The third place finisher came back to win. I like Caught a Ride at a price. Everything you said about the 10, I agree with. Tamayo popped with a first-timer in the summer meet that had a similar pattern and won for fun. So I'm 5-10 in what I thought was a challenging race. 7th race starts the final pick 3, the $3 pick 3. Scratch the 5, Silver I Am. How do you see this one?
Berlin Wall, number 7, and race number 7 is going to be my top selection, Kurt. A good, slow, improving Beyer speed figure pattern. Again, I'm not a disciple of the Beyer speed figure pattern, Beyer speed figure numbers, but I use them as a gauge, and you can see just quite simply that this horse, or this son, I should say, of Practical Joke, is slowly improving. It's his 3rd race off of February 2025 layoff, drawn well outside. Tiago Pereira rides. Basically, it's a go-to guy for Steve Knapp. I'll put Berlin Wall on top. Also, number 2, Piper's Causeway. Similar to the comment I made on one of the earlier races today, just draw a line through all the turf races for Piper's Causeway. I actually had this horse last time at Santa Anita, Kurt, 14-1. The key to the wager was Hector Barrios got in the saddle, and you can see right to the winner's circle for Jesus Uranga. Now Hector decides to ride back. Now drawn back down inside, back in for the $20,000 tag, which he was last time, but 5-1 on the morning line, a little bit too big of a price for me to pass up. 7-2 for me in race 7.
Same top horse for me. I thought Berlin Wall ran very, very well last time. Love where he's drawn outside. Pereira rides back for Steve Knapp, so I put him on top. Mr. Disrespectful, a horse I've always liked. He tries really hard. It's interesting to me. I don't know what went into it, Tom. As you know, there's a lot of things that go into stuff, but Martin Valenzuela, I thought, did a really nice job with this horse. Super job. Now Craig Galassi is listed trainer, and the horse has worked well. Whoever trains, I like the horse. 7-4 for me in race number 7. Okay, on to our feature race, the 8th race, the Desi Arnaz Stakes, $100,000 purse. Hamika is going to be a very short price, Tom, but I thought Rivera could turn the tables where she's drawn and how the race shapes up. To me, it's only those two. Do you have any other ideas?
I do slightly. I do, however, think Hamika is vulnerable. She started off being a gangbuster in her first 2 career starts. She was impressive, incredibly impressive when she won a 5 furlong dirt sprint on debut at Santa Anita. And then they immediately pointed to Sorrento, which of course she won at odds on. But then, in my opinion, kind of the wheels fell off a little bit. She was in over her head in the Del Mar debutante. She didn't pick up her feet in the Oak Leaf. And then last time out, she beat basically a field that wasn't much. But however, Rivera was in the race, and that's going to be my top selection simply because of the change in post positions. Last time out, Rivera was down inside of Hamika. Now Rivera is drawn outside of Hamika. I'm not convinced Hamika wants to get 7 furlongs. I do think Rivera can. John Sadler's had a fantastic Del Mar Bing Crosby meet. I'll put Rivera on top. You asked if I had an interesting horse. I think number 2, Bourbon and Ginger, could be a little bit of an upsetter from an exacta standpoint. Here's why. She won on debut. Then the next time, Richard Mandel, a very conservative trainer, immediately put her in the Del Mar debutante. She didn't do anything at all. The next time out, he puts her on the turf course at Santa Anita against the boys, and she ran okay. Not great, but she ran against the boys. So all along, I think Richard has been telling us, if you read between the lines, that he thinks Bourbon and Ginger has ability. If she does, I think she's going to show it today simply because of the weakness of the field in the Desi Arnaz Stakes today. I'll try and upset Hamika, Kurt, with number 4. 4, Rivera, and complete the exacta with number 2, Bourbon and Ginger.
Now we get to the important race on the card. I'm just joking. The 9th and final race, for those who don't know, I own a piece of number 4, Big Juanito, who we claimed 2 starts back here at Del Mar for $10,000. We ran him at Los Alamitos because we thought it was a good spot. That's a race where Money Run just freaked, made the lead and just ran off. We weren't going to beat him under any conditions. I can tell you our horse is trained very well. He worked in company with the maiden that Bob Hess ran the other day, running with Chaos, who ran huge. Our horse worked with him and worked very well. Tom, to me, we're going to get pace. I like our chances. Joint Venture to me is the horse to beat. I think he's going well, but I'm all in on Big Juanito, so can you get me home, or are you going to pick against me today?
I'm on Team Hoover. When we look at the graphic when the seminar is completed, you'll see I only have one selection in race number 9, and sentimentally, of course, it's for Big Juanito. And just to let the racing fans watching and listening know, you've always been high in the claim for Big Juanito. And reading between the lines without having talked to you at all, you tried that one race at Los Alamitos, which came up super tough.
Super tough.
But then you guys decided to wait, probably rightfully so. Let's wait till we get back down to Del Mar. We know that Big Juanito likes this main track. Now you can protect the horse because this is a starter allowance race. He fits perfectly. You like the claim. You still like the claim. Billy Anton Georgie, a hungry rider, 4-1 on the morning line. Let's go Team Hoover.
Let's go. And the backstretch, you know, Tom, this race was supposed to be run yesterday, and it was a turf race. We drew 12 and 10 in the turf race. It's now on the dirt. So a lot of things went into this race.
In your favor.
In our favor. And I thought Billy Anton Georgie rode the horse perfect at Los Angeles. In fact, I told him afterwards, thanks for getting us 4th money, because he was running into traffic and he got around horses. And as you know, Tom, when you own horses, 4th is a hell of a lot better than 6th or 7th because it pays for a month of training. So anyway, we'll hope for the best with Big Juanito in today's 9th and final. Tom, thank you for your time. Enjoyed it very much.
Thank you, Kurt.
And the sun's starting to come out, warming up a little bit here at Del Mar. Good luck on today's card. Thanks for watching. I'll join you in the paddock in about 20 minutes.